My dad showed up to my job and tried to tell my manager to schedule me. I'm 22 and I've been working at the same outdoor sports store for almost 2 years now. I genuinely love my job, my coworkers are great, and my manager gives me a lot of flexibility because I've proven I'm reliable. Last Friday, I was in the middle of helping a customer when one of my coworkers came up to me looking kind of uncomfortable and said, "Hey, there's a guy at the front asking for the manager and he says he's your dad." My stomach immediately dropped. I walked over and sure enough, my dad was standing there at the entrance in his jacket, completely calm like he had every right to be there, and my manager was already next to him looking confused. Apparently, my dad had decided on his own that my current Thursday and Friday closing shifts were too late for someone my age, and he came in to personally suggest that I get moved to earlier shifts. He's 56 years old. I am 22. He had an actual conversation going with my manager about my schedule before I even got there. My manager is a pretty easygoing guy, but even he looked like he didn't totally know what to do with the situation. I pulled my dad aside and quietly told him that this was incredibly embarrassing and that he needed to leave. He looked genuinely surprised and said he was just looking out for me, and that he knows how tiring night shifts can be. He wasn't rude to anyone, which I think is why he thought the whole thing was fine. But my manager pulled me aside after and asked, not in a mean way, if everything was okay at home and whether my dad does this often. I wanted to disappear into the floor. I called my dad that evening and explained very clearly that my workplace is not a place he can show up to and have conversations about my life on my behalf. He said I was overreacting and that he didn't see the big deal since nothing bad happened. I love my dad, and I know he means well, but the complete inability to see why this was a problem is what gets me every time. Thankfully, my manager was cool about it, but I was anxious for the entire rest of my shift.